Let's do it.
Sounds great.
This is the Trade Show's Unhinged podcast, a podcast from the Facebook group You Know You Work in Trade Shows When. This podcast centers on trade shows, live events, and experiential marketing activations in today's world. Your hosts are Todd and Mike, who is the owner of Showbox Exhibits and the creator of the Facebook group You Know You Work in Trade Shows When, and Mike Morrison, Vice President of Sales for WS Display. The clock is ticking, so let's get busy and get to it, and we'll do just that after this.
Need a presenter? Your Event Audio has you covered. Closed-circuit audio equipment with turnkey operation at your trade show booth, live event, or private event. YourEventAudio.com is the place to go. DJ services, MC talent, and a whole lot more. Check out YourEventAudio.com today.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving week for 2025 here on Trade Shows Unhinged on the group and Facebook known as You Know You Work in Trade Shows When. Got a lot of stuff in today's show that actually came from that group. We try to go to that feed and pull some stuff every now and then. We'll talk about that group as well today. But as you see there from Houston, Texas, in his domain of work is Todd and Mike, who is also the co-founder rather, of the group on Facebook. And then, of course, I'm just the VP of Sales at Modco, powered by WS Display.
Just the lowly VP of Sales.
Just a lowly senior leadership useless guy who turns the microphone and does all the editing of our great show. Hey, guess what? Government shutdown. It's over. The airlines, FAA, I believe early last week, gave the thumbs up to going back to full flight schedules for airlines just in time for this week. And, of course, going all the way through the holiday. And, of course, our busy schedules coming up for the trade show, live event, conference, and experiential marketing industries. But right now, hopefully, the flavor of the day is you didn't have any messages with Jeffrey Epstein. That seems to be the thing going on right now.
The one list you did not want to be on.
I did not want to be on it. But have you seen the list by any chance?
No.
I have. I have seen it. It's,
really? Yeah, because you had to check, make sure you weren't on it, right?
Yeah, there's big confusion about Jeffrey Epstein, the doctor in Massachusetts versus the pervert who had his own island and everything else. But 2 past presidents are on that list.
Not surprising.
And, they was just visiting, just doing a little PR work. I won't say what the letters PR probably stand for, but nonetheless, kind of craziness, right? The first article of interest is the government shutdown. That was a problem, right?
I happened to be flying right in the middle of it. I got delayed one time, maybe an hour, which wasn't bad. They were just slowing flights into Vegas, and then the line to get in through security in Houston. I heard, I was there, but for those that didn't have pre-check or clear, it took them 4 hours to get through. But I have them both, so I got through in like 15 minutes, so it wasn't bad.
That's a good day. And normally, now that, I'm screwed. As everybody knows, I just had back surgery back in August. I have 2 rods in the back of my back, and now I will be wanded forever until I get buried. I will not be able to walk through the metal detector any longer because of that. But I do have Clear Plus and can fly through if, in fact, there's not a big line. And the good thing about Delta here in Atlanta is Delta Digital ID gets me even through a faster line because I just walk up to a camera, goes, boop, you're good, go. And then, of course, now I'll throw my bag on the conveyor belt, go around, get wanded. I know you don't care about that personal information, but the good news is we're back to normal, at least for now, until the end of January, when they're now floating around another government shutdown. If they do this again, I already hate politics. That's why I kind of don't try not to go back to D.C. I mean, I should advocate for this industry, and I have for several years. But, man, it's just so frustrating when you get in that hypocritical bullcrap office and listen to these staffers talk about garbage. how does that make you feel, Mike? Well, I want to vomit. I mean, just to be honest with you, it's tough because government, I thought it was for the people, but now it's just for chaos, it seems. That's my rant for this week. Have anything you'd like to add to that?
I just try to stay away. I just hope that whatever happens with the government doesn't affect me, but it did with the travel, that's for sure.
And I think that was our number one concern was, especially going to the holidays, going into January where the trade shows ramp up. We'll talk about that a little later in this show. One of the surprising things that came out because of the shutdown, there was a delay in the Bureau of Labor Statistics sharing job numbers and unemployment. Apparently a big surprise that the economy says 119,000 jobs in September. However, the unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.4%. It's the highest it's been since October of 2021. I don't know if there's anything political behind that or if it's just facts, but it is what it is. The labor force participation rate also increased with healthcare, social assistance, and food services. Your, DoorDash and Uber Drive or whatever have picked up. That's called that entrepreneurship. I don't call that a job. But trade shows and events, though, we're still having trouble finding talent. At least that's what I hear. I hear it from you. I hear it from others. What's holding us back in finding decent talent these days?
Probably lack of knowledge of the industry. That's probably still up there because, people know trade shows. They just really don't know that there's such an event force behind all of these shows, I think if it was, maybe more publicized or if it was in schools or, whatever, we'd have a better chance. But yeah, all my new hires have been folks from outside the industry.
I came in this industry from the outside. I came in it from broadcast and a communication side. But, in order to be a decent salesperson, you have to communicate. You have to be able to tell somebody something. So there is a bit of cross skill set there. And I think that's going to be the secret. Whether it's in the blue collar side or the white collar side, it's going to be able to transfer skills either out of a shop that you were building something else in for some other, whether it's, I'll tell you an example, our Pennsylvania location, our CAD and drawer and project management person came out of the construction industry, so he knows how to do the blueprints and to do everything at the raw level and be able to bring that skill in and talk that language. He's just, having to change up some verbiage a little bit and understand how that works. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how unemployment rises and we're over here bitching and moaning and groaning about we can't find talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And advocacy is working out there. They are trying. I know associations are out there trying to promote. Hey, look at us. Look at this industry, this multi-billion-dollar industry. Come be a part of it. Everybody's like, I'll stick with DoorDash, I guess.
No, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to get us recognized with the NACS codes, with organizations that I'm a part of. We're doing the best we can to try to get the word out. We're trying to, advertise as much as we can, or at least get the word out enough on the trade show page, with Facebook. But I think marketing to that page, is just marketing to the industry already. So, we're trying to branch out and get to, like you said, construction. Folks in construction could get it. Not a hard transition from that to trade shows. So that's a good industry to look for too. Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep hearing it over and over again, and how much can you tout any more than what we're doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of falling on deaf ears. In the forest, you can't hear the tree fall. Sometimes because the forest is so big. It's a bad analogy, but it's all I've got. This might or may not be applicable. I just saw this and went, And and I mentioned it a couple of people last week at the end of the week, and they didn't seem to think that they thought there was going to be a lot of ways around it. And this is over in the UK, actually. The UK government is planning on banning reselling live event tickets above face value or above the original price to crack down on scalping and protecting fans. This has major implications for concerts, theaters, or live performances, especially those with high demand. Now, Mike, why do you bring this up in trade shows? Well, we also talk about live events and experiential, and they do seem to cross over a little bit. Some of them do require a ticket, and some of our builders actually do concert work, and they do things in the U.S. I guess my point is, I wonder, is there a trend where, because this is big business, Ticketmaster, StubHub, you go down the list of all of the ticket sales people, and that's just the legit ones, not the ones that stand on the corner outside the event going tickets, and doing their scalping thing. But do you see that, or is it capitalism at its best? Buyer beware, but buyer wherever you want to buy at.
Look, it would kill the scalping industry for sure, right? I know that the UK has been doing this for a long time. I know people who have tickets to, Premier League soccer, and you just can't sell those tickets. You go or no one goes. They're checking IDs. That's spilling over into the US. I know certain colleges are not allowing, resale of tickets.
Student tickets.
Yeah, there's you got to your name has to be on it, and you have to validate with your ID. Yeah, I mean, it'll kill the scalping industry for sure.
Yeah, if I go into a Taylor Swift concert, there's a problem, or a UGA game, and I'm in the student section. One of these things just doesn't belong here. This guy does not belong here.
Yep.
But I there's that argument. If they're willing to buy it, what's no harm, no foul.
I mean, it makes some tickets not attainable to most people. Because face value is $200, the scalper is going to want $1,000.
Sure. Or
I mean, I buy tickets off StubHub all the time. It's just I have to, because I'm not going to stand in line or queue up in line to get tickets. So I'm buying them 3 or 4 times face value.
I'm doing the same thing. Braves here in Atlanta. When I go to the game, I'm going to be sitting in, near, or around the dugout. Mm-hmm. That's just where but I don't have season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So that face value ticket is probably just under $100.
Okay.
Because it's got nice seating. It's got some concessions that no one else around you can have. I know one thing, you have restrooms go under the tunnel down to the player level, but then you have an ice cream machine. And you got all these little perks and stuff, and nothing like ice cream in July. But yeah, you're right. I'm gonna pay that night. By the time I do parking, which is Delta or Red parking right next to the stadium, to walk down the Battery and walk right in, the seat, concessions, I'm probably gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood. I yank these things out every single show. I would say I'm probably gonna be somewhere around $400 for one night, for one game.
Wow.
And they did not have the season that they had in 21.
Yeah, the value isn't really there yet, is it?
Well, not now. I mean, they suck very much bad. It's going to be real interesting with a new coach this year. Walt Weiss. I know we're not talking about sports here, but the ticket thing, it is value to, and as long as you got somebody willing to pay the value, it'll be interesting to see if the U.S. follows. They already, like you said, have to some extent. I think the concert level, that might be a question mark, but it'll be interesting, to see. WWE comes to mind, professional wrestling. It's in WrestleMania is in Vegas this year. One last note, we'll take a break, but WrestleMania is in Vegas this year. I think it's April. Ringside seat. Guess how much that ticket cost?
I have no clue. I don't know anything about WWE.
$15,000 to $18,000.
What?
For one night at ringside. to see some dude who puts his pants on the same way I do, even though he has tights a little bit tighter than I do. Thank God.
Oh, wow.
You don't want to see that. Tell you what. The hell we went down that line. We'll take a quick break, come back, talk about McCormick Place and the rest of this year and into January right after this.
Showbox Exhibits, headquartered in Houston, Texas, where they specialize in design, fabrication, and management of your trade show displays. At Showbox, the difference starts with listening to fully understand the unique brand story that's needed. Then they create an innovative, compelling concept that reflects specific event objectives. From static trade show displays to fully custom, oversized exhibits featuring multimedia graphics, Showbox brings your company's message to the masses. Showbox is a trade show, convention, and environment design agency that is full service from start to finish. They're based in Houston, Texas, but they serve worldwide. They've been creating exhibits for over 20 years. Showbox Exhibits at showboxexhibits.com. Hi, I'm Mike Morrison, Vice President of Sales at WS Display. For the last year and a half, WS has been changing. From my promotion from National Sales Director to Vice President of Sales, to the hiring of 3 regional sales managers across the United States. With 3 full-scale manufacturing facilities in North America, we're fully equipped to make the biggest change we've made yet. Modco, powered by WS Display, will launch in 2026 for full custom builds as well as rentals for our reseller network. Our primary focus on custom builds will be on our Modco frames with hole system as well as SEG graphics, with stick extrusion as well in that mix, and also rentals of pre-configured designs that will make it easy for our resellers to pick and choose what they would like to rent.
Man, I am so depressed. I just got a brand new skateboard. And the next show that I was going to do at McCormick Place, I was going to break that sucker out and just start rolling around the lakeside venue. But apparently,
no, sir.
No, sir. This was in the group. You work in trade shows when someone posted this. It is just a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 on the wall, and I'm sure they've got them all over the property. And this was dated November the 7th, so it was this month. The notice says, moving forward, there will be no no electric or conventional bikes, scooters, skateboards, etc. to be driven anywhere on McCormick Place property. So it's not on the show hall floor only. It's in the venue around the halls, or I'm assuming going from hall to hall, or just outside on the property apparently. If you're caught not following the rules, there can be a fine up to $1,000 or removal from the building. I think I would just take the removal from the building and keep my pictures of dead presidents. But I thought this was interesting, Todd. And, there's forklifts. There's especially during setup, tear down. And I get it. Even the general contractors and electricians are in these little scooters that ride around. Yeah. They're bigger than scooters, but you know what I'm talking about. And they're doing that. So they're kind of setting a precedent. But apparently McCormick Place feels this has gotten out of hand. You got any thoughts on that one?
Well, I bet somebody got hurt.
Lawsuit.
And this is coming down from the insurance company saying, hey, this has got to stop, and do whatever you can to keep people from riding these things. But I love it. I'm glad that they've implemented this. I've almost gotten run over by bikes and scooters at a show before, and they've been banned for a long time at shows. So I guess McCormick finally, either got hit with a heavy lawsuit or something, but that's probably why this is coming up. Of course, it doesn't say who posted this, it's just, doesn't say from management. This could have been written by anybody, really.
Good point, and I'm gonna show it here in the video at the actual letter that's on the group for those that haven't seen it. But you're right. There's no. You would think if it was McCormick Place, it would be on letterhead, it'd be in a frame, it would be posted professionally.
Yeah.
But then again, it is the trade show industry, and we do
Right.
cheap ass this thing every now and then across the board. You know,
Access to any sign company you want, and this is what they post.
well, think about it. I mean, how many times have you taken two-faced tape and run it across something across the ground?
Oh,
I just
sure.
did it. I did it at a show in Charlotte, shop marketplace for retail. We had a louver. We have a louver for our frames with holes, so it has vertical louvers, right? And then behind it, we put this light box. But shop, somehow or another, they did not send me the right connections to
Of course.
put the light box to the thing, right? Guess what? Duct tape solves everything. You know, and we went right there across the top, 3 shots across, and this sucker ain't going nowhere, And I mean, how many times have we done it? So this, it's definitely legitimate. It came from God himself, and you better not be caught with some kind of ancillary vehicle or toy on McCormick Place's floor unless you want to drop 1,000 pictures of dead presidents down on the floor. So there's that. Now, of course, we're getting ready to hit January. We'll do a show in December, I'm sure, but January will hit. The bulk of shows that kick off the first of the year are the same. They're perplexing as always. CES starts it in Vegas. I'm actually there the week after for PPAI, actually exhibiting there. And it's a huge floor there. Nothing like CES, but it is a big show. Vegas is loaded for the first of the year. Orlando is loaded too, Surf Expo and then others of the like. In warm weather conditions. Chicago, not so much. Probably a little too cold and expensive. And I can't carry my skateboard, so screw them.
Right.
I'm going to go to Vegas, right? So where else are you seeing shows happening, or are you involved with in the month of January?
Vegas.
All Vegas.
It's all Vegas.
Four flights?
We just did a show in St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
Haven't done a show in St. Louis in 15 years, it seems like. But this show was too big for the city. It was called Supercomputing, and there were no hotels to be found. Some people were staying 30 miles away from the downtown area. It was just, I couldn't believe it. And St. Louis is my hometown, so I was fortunate to be able to see family and whatnot, but too big for St. Louis.
Happened to me one year at OTC. I could not find a hotel room anywhere. I was going to visit clients like I used to when I was with Octanor.
Yeah.
And I stayed out I-10 East. And I was way out there. You may know the exit. There's a lot of big equipment right off the exit.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil refineries out that way.
And I was out there, and me and
Baytown. That's a ways out.
Baytown.
Yeah.
Baytown. Yep.
Yeah, Houston had the OTC used to be giant, but once for some reason the Super Bowl was the reason why we were able to get a bunch of new hotel rooms. So now Houston's become a town that can handle some shows in both convention centers.
Yeah,
it's all about the hotels.
Baytown's an entirely different degree of redneck. I mean,
it's roughneck.
Greasy spoon that you eat at. It's like you wouldn't even take your dog in there. But no, and you're right. Vegas is the bulk of it. It's good that they are moving forward. They're still, from what I understand from Don, they're still kind of hurting from tourism right now. They're not coming in and spending the money. A little conservative on that regard. So you better depend on the shows, right? Yeah.
We're there once a month or more, for sure. I was just there last week, 2 weeks in a row. ISSA was the last one I did out there, and then CES we're headed back out there right after Christmas. So, then back for AHR. So,
how many booths you got at CES? Just out of curiosity.
Share. I think 3 or 4.
That's probably average for a lot of companies.
Hello.
It's still multi-property, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not just multi-property. I mean, there are events all the way down to the Aria. We're doing
Good grief.
ballrooms in the Aria, in Venetian, in the Sands, in LVCC. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, Sands Venetians, that's right there next to the convention center. Aria, way the hell over
I know.
here.
I know.
That's a jaunt.
Mhm.
That's crazy. One thing we probably, before we end up on discussing one more topic, is last night I flipped on TV and was watching F1 happening in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see a lot of press on that this year. Normally, I guess it is what it is, and they're going to run it and tear up the town. And then,
Yeah, no, it's it's great for the city. Although people that work there hate it because it disrupts their life for 3 days. Honestly, Vegas does a good job of scheduling that race to where it shuts down the city the least amount of time, because they do it on Saturday night as opposed to Sunday afternoon. So they do the race at 8 p.m. It's over before 10, around 10 o'clock, and then they open up the streets as quickly as possible. It's a time in Vegas that's slow. This is just my opinion. I don't live there. But you know what? I do know folks that live there that don't live near the Strip that aren't affected at all. They're like, we don't even, Vegas is just so big with hotels. They don't even have to, it doesn't even make a difference to the locals. So who live in the outskirts. So if you don't want to be involved in the mess, just don't go down there. I personally don't like I wouldn't like to watch it there. It's better on TV because the visibility is so limited. Vegas has got that race for another 7 years. So the locals just need to be, let's just sit back and learn about street races, because the reason, and they're saying, let's just build a dedicated track. But the whole reason it's in Vegas is because of that backdrop, is because of the photo op. It just looks great.
You know what I saw more of anything at there?
What's
Sphere.
that?
The Sphere.
Yeah, the Sphere's it's a huge star in that show. I mean, it's in the middle of the track, right? So, or that race. But yeah, the reason why it's downtown is just because it looks spectacular. Having it somewhere else in a dedicated track, that would be just like any other track.
Like north of Vegas, where the NASCAR
where the NASCAR track is, yeah.
And you got property all around it. You could
you could build it somewhere else, but
the desert is wide open there next to the industrial backdrop, but it's the track and that's it. But yeah. You're right. I mean, convenience and aesthetics, but you don't have a street at the end of the race, and you got to probably repave and do some things. Wasn't there one time somebody ripped off a man cover hole or something? Yeah,
last year a water drain cover came out as a car went over, and it ruined the car. They had to replace the whole engine. This year, one of the manholes was coming up. It didn't come up all the way, but it was actually lifting. So they had to weld it down.
And I did see one car, just literally sparks were flying everywhere.
Yeah, the cars spark everywhere. As a matter of fact, two of the cars sparked so much that they got disqualified.
Really?
Yeah. They had too much wear on the bottom of the car, which is the skid plate, and the rules say you can only, have so much scrape off, otherwise you get disqualified. So big controversy.
Speaking of rules, let's end on this. We've mentioned this several times before. Now we know a lot of the members of the group tell other people about the group, and because I can tell, there's daily I get these requests to join the group. I'm sure you do as well, Todd. And there's 3 questions that you got to answer. Just 3. Tell me what you do. Tell me you're going to play nice. What's the third one? I can't remember. Something, but it's 3 innocent questions.
Right.
If you just click, join and walk away, I'm going to hit decline and walk away. Okay.
Yeah.
We want everybody in the industry to be a part of it. Just answer the questions. I mean, that's all. It's not. You don't cost you anything to come in.
Yeah.
And
it's if you have read the rules, and what I think there's just 2. Have you read the rules and agreed to them? And then, are you a part of this industry? That kind of thing. And if you haven't read and obviously no one reads the rules, because I'm deleting many posts.
Yeah, you can't get ugly. And people will, people who make the post, and if you get ugly, they will let us know, hey, we're flagging this comment. Please look it over. And we delete the comment. And you're also jeopardizing your membership in the group. So just keep that in mind. It's a rowdy bunch anyway, but and we want to have fun, but got to do it within a reasonable way of doing it. You see there across the ticker, tradeshowsunhinged@gmail.com. If you'd like to reply and let us know what you think, you can also reply to the link of this show there in the group. It's always pinned there at the top. Anything you'd like to add before we shut it down and go eat turkey?
Ooh, Turkey Day this week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, it's a lot, and ham. That's the other thing I was told. The problem is
love ham too.
Turkey gets devoured. Ham gets left for sandwiches. And,
Yeah.
That's when I go 20 pounds over. It's not good. It's not good for a guy in my condition. But I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll come back and see you again in December here on Trade Shows Unhinged.